How to get rich as an employee. Unfortunately, not all of us could be entrepreneurs. It is too hard, and some people never really make it. Or you struggle all your life with all the uncertainties, and you'll be making the same as an employee, or if not less. So, some people deserve to be employees, and there is a way to get rich as an employee. To get rich as an employee, you have to understand money. What is money? Money, as we know today, is a fiat currency, so they can print the money out of thin air. Back in the days, money was backed by something. It was backed by gold before that became obsolete. President Nixon did a great job at taking us off the gold standard, and money essentially became worthless if you think about it.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
So in order to get rich, you have to understand money and know how it works. Back in the days, way back in the days, if you're lucky to put money in the bank, you get 2%. You're not going to get rich with the 2% on your money. So now it's even worse. You don't even get 1%. The only way to get rich as an employee is to understand that you cannot save your way to riches unless you're making millions of dollars a year. And that doesn't happen often. That's like the 0.0000001% CEOs of big companies that get paid that amount. And if you're an employee, they tax the hell out of your paychecks, right? Employees suffer the most with regards to taxes. So we're going to get into all of that. You have to understand how money works. And how does money work? Money essentially multiplies. So if you get paid and you spend the money, you could work forever and you're never going to make it. And you have to understand how to invest your money. So you can work for somebody, but you have to learn on the side how to invest your money. Maybe not yourself. There are easier ways to invest your money without you having to actually understand how to pick stocks or, but when it comes to real estate, you have to learn a lot. So you have to pick your vehicle. What interests you? What excites you? How do you want to grow your money? Because like it or not, you will have to grow your money on your own, especially if you want to become independent 20 years or 30 years. So you have to manage your money on your own. So you have to learn how money works. And this is how money works. You have to pick your vehicle. I pick stocks. Some people pick real estate. If I have a business, I deduct everything. So I have a real estate company. Let's say I'm going on site and I buy gas. The car that I'm driving around, I'm depreciating it. I deduct a lot of stuff. So by the time I'm done, I could end up making about $500,000. And by the time I'm done, my income for the year will be down to maybe $50,000. That's what you're gonna get taxed, or even zero, right? That's why Trump was not paying taxes. And you don't understand this. You just really have to understand how it works and use that as your advantage. So what happens when the Fed prints money? When the Fed prints money on you, that causes inflation. And no job is going to promote you to keep up with inflation. So you might get promotion thinking you get more money, but essentially you are still at the same place. The only way to really get yourself off this hamster wheel is to understand how to invest your money on your own. So you have to pick a vehicle. I pick stocks. So let's look at my example. I was getting paid from multiple sources and I was channeling some of that money into the stock market. I was able to cut down. I had a 20-year plan, right? By going through the traditional route of making maybe 15 to 20% a year and just voraciously, saving and monitoring my investments. 20 to 25 years, I was going to be a millionaire and probably try to do other stuff on the side and, kind of get my independence. Or I could just keep working until the age of 65 and become really, really, really wealthy. So it is possible, but you must understand how to invest. So I'm going to talk from the perspective of the US. Right? So in the US, if you work for somebody, you get a whole bunch of incentives, right? You get the 401k where your employer matches how much you put in there. But when you put in there, there is a hedge fund that's managing your money, and the fees they take over time is a lot of money. And most of these hedge funds don't even beat the market, right? The index fund, you don't have to know anything. You just got to know about index fund and what to buy. That's it. So the index fund takes like a basket of stocks, depending on what index fund it is. So let's look at the S&P 500 index, or ETF, exchange traded funds. These stocks, you just have to understand what they are and buy it, and everything is done automatically. ETFs beats 95% of fund managers, and yet they charge you huge sums in fees. That's what most people don't understand. You are not going to get rich by just putting the money in the 401k and forgetting about it. It's going to take a long time. if you really want to speed up the process, you have to understand how it works and put the money in the 401k and then move it yourself to an index fund or an ETFs. So you can also, look into real estate where you put down payment, you save, you put on down payment, you get cash flow, and then from the cash flow you can buy more real estate, and then over time your cash flow could replace your income, and then you could finally retire or just keep building your portfolio. You could do all this stuff as an employee, but you cannot just work your job and think you can save your way to riches. You cannot outwork the first printing machine. And when inflation happens, you know who benefits? People who own assets, because everything goes up. If you own a house already and the prices of everything goes up, who's benefiting? You. If you own stocks and everything is going up, who's benefiting? You. So the whole secret is to get in the equation, get on the asset side. Though you're an employee and they are taxing the hell out of you, before you get your money, they've deducted everything. They don't care about you driving this. Nobody cares, right? But if you're a businessman, you get that. So it's unfair with the tax rules, right? And guess who's lobbying? Everyone in the world is a businessman who have the money to lobby. So the tax is always going to favor the businessman. But like I said, not everybody can be a businessman or a businesswoman. So you have to understand the game. To win at everything, you have to understand the game. But you cannot win at a game that you don't understand. And you have to be well aware that the tax system is unfair. And what can you do to benefit yourself? If you own multiple houses, then you can actually depreciate some of this stuff and it will affect your income, right? It will affect your income as an employee, right? So you got to think about all of this. You have to acquire a lot of assets. You need a self-education. You need to be in charge of your money. You can't just leave it up to somebody. You have to understand it. And it does not take that much work, especially if you're trying to go with index fund or exchange traded funds, right? You do not, ETFs or index fund, you do not have to know a whole lot. You really don't. And you move the money yourself. Or you can, invest in individuals, especially if you are in Africa. You could invest in individuals on the side or have a side hustle, right? Like a farm or something that brings you cash flow, and buy more land. As you get paid, you buy more land, cheap land, farmland. You plant something on it. It brings you a little bit of money every year, but land appreciates in value, and you gain, you get the power of compounding. The power of compounding, right? Power of compounding does miraculous stuff, where 1 penny, if you multiply it, within 30 days is a lot of money. So you have to understand compounding.
A little bit of interest and a lot of time. Compound interest can help grow a portfolio significantly. Compound interest is reinvesting earned interest back into the principal of an investment. As you reinvest interest on top of interest, your investments can grow exponentially over time. Exponential growth is the result of letting interest compound over time.
You have to understand how money works, and then channel some of the money that you gain as an employee into that vehicle so that you can one day become free. So while it is appealing and sexy to say that you have to be an entrepreneur, it is not an easy feat, right? So I understand some people are not cut out for that. Does that mean you can never be rich? No. Of course you can be rich. You just have to understand money and see how you can use your W-2 income, your paid income as an employee, channel some of that money into stocks, real estate, side hustle, whatever you want to do on the side, investment basically, to get yourself on that level. And you have to meticulously look at this stuff. It doesn't happen by accident, guys. You cannot outwork the printing machine. They'll print more money than you can work. So if you think you can work and save your way to a millionaire, it's going to take a long time. Let's say you make $100,000 a year in New York. You're basically taking home $60,000 a year. You got to pay rent and all that, right? So let's say you don't even pay rent. How long is it going to take you to hit a million? You don't pay rent, you get a 60 and you're good. You don't eat, you don't need anything. That's like 20 years. You cannot save your way to riches. So you just got to know how to, put the money in another vehicle. I worked for only 2 months and I was able to get out because I was aggressive for my investments. I'm not advising this to people. You go with index fund and you can do the same, guaranteed. I knew for sure that I was going to be rich within 10 years or to 15 years. I mean, if you are willing to learn and channel some of the money outside, within 10 to 15 years, you're going to be rich. So I happened to do it sooner, and I'm not going to say thank God, but coronavirus was a blessing for me, and I was able to speed up the process exponentially, 30x the process. So it's possible, right? So don't hate your job. You're doing something you enjoy. You know you can do well. Get the money and get another skill on the side. Get another skill. Learn about real estate. Learn about stocks. at least index fund or ETFs. You don't have to know a whole lot. You just got to know what to pick. That's it. Consistently putting that money. And, 8 to 10 years from now, you'll be surprised what you see. You got to be a disciplined saver, right? You save a lot of money, you put it in there, basically, right? So you cannot be out here being extravagant, trying to show off. That's what it takes to, become rich as an employee. It's definitely possible. Definitely possible. You just have to be really careful and, be meticulous with your money, save, be frugal sometimes, and work towards a goal. You need to have a goal and project it, right? Riches does not happen by accident. Nobody gets rich like, oops, I just got rich, unless you win the lottery or something. And even that, you take the step to win the lottery, so you have some sort of expectation. Riches, when they come at all, it does not come through hard work. If you think hard work brings riches, perish your thoughts. You think Elon Musk work harder than the Mason? No, the Mason is working, breaking their back. There's people working way harder than Elon Musk. You just have to have a goal. You have to know where you're going, and you have to break it down. You have to know, this is what I'm going to do to get to this, right? If you know, okay, let's say I want to make $5,000 a year in passive income. How many houses do I need in order to get that? And then you just break it down. Everything, that's what it comes down to. Have the big picture, see what's going to make you happy, how you want to live your best life, and break it down to its simplest form. And take the first action. That's what happened to most people. We get paralyzed, right? Because it's too big. You need to have the ability to break it down into its simplest form, and then you take the first step. All the skyscrapers and stuff that we see started from foundation and one brick at a time, believe it or not. So that's how it is. That's how you achieve everything, one step at a time, right? But you always have to have the bigger goal, right? I remember when I was on a ship from Virginia, we went all the way to the Persian Gulf, Middle East and all that. It's a long travel, but we knew where we were going. If we didn't, we were probably going to end up in some deserted island. You need to have a goal. You need to know where you're going. So this concludes the message. If you're an employee and you don't see yourself as an entrepreneur, don't lose hope. You could still get rich, but you have to be disciplined and learn about how money works. Learn about what vehicle you want to take to put your money in. My friend, you can become a millionaire in 10 to 15 years easily. If you've not subscribed to the channel already, kindly do so. Like this video as it helps with the algorithm. Comment, let me know what you think. And until next time, my friends, the legendary. Peace.